Wow. Hey guys, this is BlueBlade11 back with another video of Shadowverse Legends of Eternal Awakening, the movie, Second Crisis, Electric Boogaloo. And today I was going to take a look at a very special deck created by the master Igni Deus himself on youtube.com, twitch.tv/Igni Deus. This is a deck that I haven't seen a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of copies of it. The only deck I have seen of it as a copy is more of a control variant, which uses more high-end top-heavy cards and includes more ramp cards. But this variant, which Igni formulated it himself and he gave it to me, I was able to climb a lot of this isn't the one, a lot of rank with it, and to great success is Aggro, not so aggro, Amulet Ramp Aggro Dragon. Now this version of the build takes out some of the top heavy stuff like the Behemoth and the Cursed Furor, which ramps your play points for more aggressive stuff like Ice Dancing Dragonute and other Storm Followers, Dark Prison. You also have Reggie for that Overflow Storm, Razia for the burn effect on the last words, and of course the one and only Gunda, which you can consistently pull out with your Draconic Call, or just naturally draw into him and then smack face for anywhere from 8 to 12 damage, 13 damage even, depending on how many amulets you have set up on board. Now this deck is able to go to the late game by maintaining hand advantage with cards such as Dragon Oracle, Draconic Call, and Dragon Rearing, which is a bit of aggressive hand cycle because of the stat buff in Overflow. Turn 1, I do like having the Windfire Engineer in hand, although that does mean you're giving up hand advantage in the early turns in order to advance your game plan in the later turns. Quixotic Adventurer into Reggie or Dragon Oracle is a fine keep, even though you're playing an aggressive deck. It's not terrible to be using Oracle to ramp up your play points early so you can play more followers on the following turn. Vagabond Lizard is just great flexibility for that turn 3 play or that turn 4 play. Usually you'll be left floating a play point or something, but in one great card you have 4/4 worth of stats, so I think that's great. That's where Vagabond comes from. Dark Prison, Georgius, just your great all-around solid legendaries. Georgius is just too good of a card. It's anti-aggro, it's late game anti-aggro, late game burn damage. Georgius's fanfare effect is also great for mitigating the negative effect of Dark Prison Dragon in this list. Reggie's just great all around, especially if you're able to save an evolve point for late game where she can buff your entire board full of Storm Followers, or even early to mid game if you're able to stat buff her with either the Amulet or with her Evo effect on turn 4, turn 5 before you're able to reach Overflow, just to ramp up and maintain tempo at the same time while also simultaneously buffing your entire board, especially if your opponent decides to or inadvertently leaves you some board left behind. Wandering Chef is also a great card. Heals your face, advances board tempo, denies your opponent board tempo, and even though it's not a particularly aggressive card, it's just a great all-around tempo card, especially in aggressive mirrors like against Aggro Shadow or against the other rare occasional Aggro Dragon. Io Journey Mage is also kind of like in the same kind of vein of tempo cards that advance your game plan. And the other advantage to Io is that because she has 2 enhancement effects at Enhance 5 and Enhance 8, she's a great flexible card that you can play for minimal hand advantage expenditure, like you're only playing 1 card for 5 mana or 1 card for 8 mana to use up like the rest of your ramp play points without giving up too much hand advantage, while still being able to take advantage of your oracles and your Reggie ramps. Reggie ramp. That sounds like a Pokemon, hey. Draconic Call, obviously, as I said before, it will fetch a Gander, and if you're on Overflow, it's also going to fetch your Razia and or Georgius. Razia, unfortunately, is a little bit slow on the uptake because you do need her to die with the last words in order to be able to deal burn damage to her face, but because she has Ward, like more often than not, especially against Aggro Mirrors, it's going to be very difficult for opponents to remove her, and then she can get to obnoxiously high levels of attack with the board buffs, with the Dragon Rearing spell, and then with the Clash effect, which deals like anywhere from 3 to 7, 8 face burn damage. And as it turns out in this meta as well, there's not a lot of damage mitigation. There's not really any damage mitigation floating around. So having that Azir set up before the finisher with the Ganda is just great for OTKing your opponent from 20 to 0 or otherwise. Georgius also helps with burn damage that gets around, wards in the way. So what I find happens is you want to prioritize, playing tempo onto board with your Vagabonds and your other stat buffs before going into playing your Storm Followers onto those board buff amulets, hitting phase, and then setting up for either burn damage from the Razia, the Georgius, or the Gunda, which you're going to fetch with your Draconic Call on turn 7 or 7 play points and set it up for possibly a turn 9 Gunda lethal. Yeah, so that's pretty much the deck. Against weak decks, like weak early tempo decks, such as, I don't know, Spellbeast Rune or Baby Sword, not really sure. You want to be playing aggressively with Wormfire Engineer, Quixotic, Reggie. That's the ideal line to play. There are other lines to play available, like Vagabond Lizard. It's just great, solid all-round stats. Sometimes you do want to keep Oracle, sometimes you don't want to keep Oracle. It's just kind of neither here nor there. But I do like keeping Oracle out of habit, and also because, you know, it's never bad to have ramp, and this deck can afford to lose a little bit of tempo early to get that Oracles and then make up the tempo later with board buffs with Quixotic and Wandering Chef. Or the fact that Oracle on turn 2 can unlock a Quixotic Wandering Chef combo on turn 3 with a 4 mana play is fairly significant in some match. And it also does greatly advance your board presence and your board advantage in other tempo based matchups like, I don't know, mid-range sword. The board buffs are also great for getting around Accelerate Forest's 1 mana Crystallize Destroy a 2 defense follower, because you're able to buff to 3 defense. So just an all-round solid deck. I've had a lot of success climbing with it, and now that I'm done with it, let's get into it. Alright, and we are up against Shadowcraft. So there's a few builds of Shadowcraft running around the ladder as far as I can tell. So of course we're going to chuck our Dragon Rearing and the 2 Wandering Chef, because ideally Quixotic Adventurer is usually a keep in my book, because it's a 2 mana pseudo 3/3 on turn 2, which is great in some matchups, and it's also great for buffing all your other followers that come after it. Given that he didn't play 1 mana, I maybe presume that he's not Aggro Shadow. You know, maybe he didn't draw the 1 mana, but he could be Burial Rite Shadow. There's a few variants of Burial Rite Shadow going around as far as I know. There's Control variant, and then there's the ordinary kind of mid-range or more aggressive Rally variant. He's playing Ghastly Assault, so this could be the Control variant actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna Reggie, and then next turn we can set up for a turn 5 IO Journey Mage. Turn 5 mana IO Journey Mage, especially if it's not able to take out this Reggie on board, but he is able to that's not sad. So gonna play the IO, get a bit of burn damage, get the 3/4 stats on board as opposed to Razia. Maybe Razia would have been better than it actually. Ooh, okay. It's gonna be a Scion, a Desire, and that is gonna be a pain in the ass to deal with. So this is definitely 100% some kind of control variant of Burial Rite Shadow, but I have no idea how I'm gonna deal with this bitch ass mofo. I guess I'll just evolve and then trade it in, get some chip damage in, and you know, I'll just tank that 7-2, because if it is control, it's gonna have some trouble finishing me off, I feel like. Maybe it wasn't the best play, but there's not really much else I can do, honestly. My hand's kind of trash for this specific instance, and against like this fucking pre-vote 7/7. Ooh, he'll fall. Yeah, so that is one of the few damage mitigations left in rotation at the moment. Trends forever with the Ania spell. This is honestly a kind of terrible matchup for me. Oracle, and then I could Vagabond or I could Razia. Rearing, Evolve Razia, and then just kind of cry myself to sleep. I just kind of hope that he doesn't have another Scion or something, because if he does, then I top left straight up. I need the 7 damage to hit base. If he has some... Oh, it's the Immortal... It's the Mordekaiser deck. Man. Oh, I can finish him off. It's gonna be hard though. So basically, I need to wall him off. Can I wall him off? if I didn't need it, if I didn't tank that Scion there, I would have been able to. Fuck, I misclicked. Yeah, I think that's a loss from me. Because this does summon the. This is basically a pseudo Mordekaiser, but like twice as obnoxious. Yeah, honestly, the draw there kind of sucks. Usually, you don't get that many 4 manas in hand with the 3 different Razias. If I didn't have the 3 different Razias, I'll definitely be a lot better off than the position I was there. So that's unfortunate. No, but it's like against the majority of the rest of the meta, this aggressive kind of version of RANT Tempo Dragon does pop off pretty hard, and especially in the mirror, if you're able to play aggressively. Gonna be in the Dragon mirror, but most likely it's gonna be the control variant of Tempo Dragon, which is kind of difficult to deal with at times, but at other times it's not too bad. Turn 2 Exotic, too bad we don't have a Wildfire Engineer on turn 1, especially since they tend to be kind of weaker in the matchup. Definitely a turn 2 Exotic into turn 3 Reggie. The other option though is a turn 2 Oracle into turn 3 Exotic Wandering Chef, which is slightly less damage. Or I could just do this. Hopefully the Reggie's going to be able to stick after the turn 4 or the turn 5, and I'll be able to evolve it for face damage. I am going to Reggie here, and as long as he doesn't have a Wandering Chef, I should be good to go. That does ramp up my play points, and then next turn it will be Wandering Chef, Dark Prison Dragon, or I don't know, Oracle, Dark Prison, Oracle, Chef, Razia, but I'm going to flip 1 mana if I Razia. He does have Razia. Oh man, that is a sad moment right there. Well, we still got this, so definitely going to Oracle, and then Dark Prison Dragon. I don't have Overflow, so it doesn't minus my play points. I might pre-evolve it, just so I can get some face damage in next turn, because this is ultimately a aggressive deck, so I want to be dealing as much damage to his face as possible in the next few turns. I don't want to Draconic Coal next turn, but probably I will need to for hand advantage, although I do have the Razia and the Georgius in hand. It's more for the 9 play point Gunda play. Ooh, so he is playing the fish. So he's playing the fish deck. Okay, I see how it is. But if I call here, and you get a bunch of Razias, I'm gonna play it down, and hopefully he won't be able to spell remove it. If he is able to spell remove it, I'm gonna be a very sad boy. That deck runs like a fuck ton of removal for no good reason. But yeah, here we go. So Razia, I'm gonna evolve one of the Razia and ram it in, and hopefully he will. He's gonna heal up to full, but hopefully he'll have to trade into it instead of using his bitch ass removal. If he does use his bitch ass removal, I'm gonna cry. And you know what would be great is if there was a way to give Mr. Gundo here some form of storm, but that would be fucking OP. What the fuck is this guy doing? He's gonna trade in there, and then he's gonna play the Scion. Really fucking annoying. Yeah, I'm really running out of steam here. So how many turns has he been sitting on that 10 mana? I think his second turn, so I got 1 more turn to live. He has 1 more turn to live. Just thinking of what top decks could potentially win me the game here, but for Gundoza to pop off, I'm going to need another Dragon Rearing, which is the 1 playpoint spell buff with the 2/2 draw a card if you're an overflow. Otherwise, I don't know how I'm going to use all 10 mana up. Plus, the other problem is Gandoza needs a fucking target to ram into. And this bitch is just going to keep healing up 4 mana to deal with the rest of my board, which is very possible. How do I keep running into this shit? Need a bunch of games that show how good this deck is, and you know what? We keep losing fucking games. I swear. Honestly, I was at 0 master points last night, and now I'm at 1.8k because of this deck, and then I don't know what's happening today. People are like, oh, I fucking hate aggro today. I'm gonna play fucking control like a little bitch because I don't know how to play the game. I'm not salty at all. So, and we will be up against, I hope to god it's not fucking Control Shadow, because I swear to god if it is Control Shadow, I'm gonna fucking chuck a shoe at someone. And oh hey, we actually got a decent hand for once. The only reason Bike kind of works out is because she spawns a bullet bike from turn 1, which is pseudo hand advantage. Ooh, I should have played the Oracle there actually, I kind of fucked up. But this is fine, playing tempo against an aggro deck, it's fine. It's not the best, but it's fine. Deal with this. And what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna IO here. Onto the 2-1. Hit phase, you get a 2-3 and a 2-2 and you hit phase. We're gonna fucking town. What the fuck is this bitch? Oracle, bullet bike. And then I just kinda hit phase. He's gonna aggressively evolve and hit my face probably, but then I'll just Razia. Cruzotic Razia. Turn 5 Cruzotic. Or Razia Cruzotic. Oh, I can't get both motorcycles onto the Razia, so what I should have actually done is Cruzotic. That would have also been more tempo on board. I don't know what this guy is playing. He's playing some kind of, I don't know, mid-range janky kind of shit. Oh, it actually is a kind of surprisingly effective deck, but I'm so far ahead on tempo that it should be fine anyway, regardless. Alright, I was considering, so definitely Razia first, and then Cruzotic. What I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna evolve the Razia and then trade that in. And he just commits honorable Sudoku. Oh man. So game number 4 and we're up against a lot of Dragon on the ladder today. Oh, so we got that turn 1 Windfire Engineer, which is great. Probably turn 2 Bike if I don't draw anything else. Turn 3 Dark Prison. Hopefully I do draw something. I haven't seen anyone else run this kind of aggressive variant. Or turn 3 Reggie. Alright, that's huge actually. Because then I get the tempo ramp on turn 3. You know what would make this hand super sweet is if I was able to draw Cruzotic next turn. If I'm not, I can just do it like. And we're up against Mother, play fucking Dark Prison. Then we're gonna play Reggie. If he ramps, he has access to Gran next turn, which is random damage, which takes out Dark Prison anyway. And of course he is, so we're just gonna Reggie here, hope for the best, because the Reggie does tempo ramp us, so it does give him something to deal with. And because he can't take care of it, we just win the game. Okay, great way to showcase the deck. You don't have to cast to deal with the board, lose the game. I mean, if you're able to get a double Reggie Evo off with a stat buff on the entire board, you do pretty much win the game straight up without any little to no effort. So there's that. And we're up against Shadow yet again. So a lot of Shadow and Dragon on ladder. And a lot of the control variants or other variants. I presume it's because there was JCG last night or something. I could have kept that second Reggie actually for a tempo play on turn 3 and on turn 4. Aggro, so hopefully we draw our chef somewhere, or the bike, or nothing. You know, nothing works too. Probably Cruzotic. IO? No IO. If he's smart, he's going to trade that in. If he's not so smart, he's not going to trade it in. Very alright. Oh, so he is smart. We are gonna Reggie, and then probably Georgius next turn. Georgius on his entire board. If he does what I think he's gonna do, he's gonna trade the 3 skeletons in, which clears up 3 board slots for him to put more bullshit onto board. If he wants to be super obnoxious, he's gonna play Necro Impulse after he uses all 3 skeletons. Is he up to in terms of rally? He's at rally 10 already, so that's really annoying. That's super fucking annoying. I do have an answer to this though. It's called Georgius, and we're gonna evolve Georgius. We're probably gonna save the rearing because we need the rearing too much for our lethal. Like, it's not worthwhile using it here to give it extra stats. Let me think. If we make it a 7-7, then he's gonna have a lot of difficulty trying to take it down. Then I've lost that access to that rearing for that turn. So no, you know what, we'll save the rearing for turn 7 play or 7 mana play on turn 6. So he is going to invoke the Fieren, and then probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to Vagabond Exotic. Alright, I don't think he has any, he can animate anything that takes out this Georgius. Oh, okay, so he's going to evolve the Lich in. So I do have to answer his board. I am pretty much required to answer his entire board at this point in time. So, what do we do here? Yeah. So the thing is, in this matchup, if you don't get your eyes off early enough, or if you don't get your tempo heals, like your Chef, your IO, you kind of get butt fucked, which is really sad. Alright, one more game. Man, I hate this game. Victory rewards. So up against a matchup we can actually maybe win, except going second, so this game, I hate it. Let's go. So Oracle Quixotic or either Oracle Quixotic Reggie. Quixotic Reggie. Because it's going to be more difficult for him to deal with Quixotic Reggie than Oracle into Quixotic into something else, maybe a Chef, depending. Either way, we do get the early ramp. Accelerate Forest, so he's not going to be doing a lot for the first few turns, unless he starts to play majorly aggressively. So we'll leave that decision until next turn. What I could also do is Oracle into Razia. Oracle Razia, and then on turn 5 I Quixotic Reggie. Another thing with Razia, it is going to be difficult for him to deal with if he play the Razia on that specific turn, so I guess I will Oracle there, and then next turn I'll play the Razia instead of the Quixotic into the Reggie like I was originally planning to do. The other thing with denying Quixotic is it also denies a early Levon target, which is huge for slowing down the progression of his 11 damage progression. He does get card advantage, so which is going to be annoying, but as far as I remember, he doesn't actually have any good spell-based damage mitigation before the evolve turn. So next turn is 100% Quixotic into Reggie or Reggie into Quixotic, depending. I feel like Quixotic into Reggie is going to work out better because you cash in the stats on that turn as opposed to cashing it in a few turns later. Yeah, so that is going to be a pain if he does get the Lionel off onto the 3-5. It's going to be his only spell-based damage. Oh wait, no, I still get the Last Words effect off actually, so I don't have to worry about that. What am I talking about? He's going to have to tank the spell-based damage anyway. He will be able to clear the 3-5 and the 6-5, and then I don't know if he's going to be able to clear the 3-3. If he trades the 1-1 into the 3-3, then he's going to be able to clear it enough for 11. If I had to describe the perfect hand... Oh. Okay, I guess that works. And then he trades that in, which is annoying for him to deal with. And then he trades that in, he trades that in, or he trades that in. It's still going to end up the same result anyway. Yeah, that makes sense. And then hit face. And what we're going to do is... Worm Fire. And then debating whether I should trade into the... Trading into the Levin is riskier, but it does give me face damage. I should have saved that Iceborne for next turn with and Draconic Call this turn. But it's a bit late now, and I am cashing in, so... I'm just gonna say fuck it, fuck you, suck my dick. Or suck my big fat Razia cannon. Deal 1 damage to all followers. Am I gonna get the clash effect?
This too is destiny.
What? What the hell is he saying? It's an Ice Dancing, Dragon Rearing. That's one off. Man. Alright, so... I'm basically counting on him, dying or not being able to lethal me in the next turn. Yep, goodbye. Alright, so that was too much of a risky play. Good job, me. Wait, did I miscount? And here we sit and contemplate. I'm tilted. I'm so tilted right now. One more game. I didn't realize his accelerate count was so fucking low. Fucking idiot. Fucking look at this kid. Laugh at him. Laugh at him. Man. Alright, so we're gonna chuck that out. We're gonna chuck out the IO, and then we're gonna hope for something good with Dragon Oracle into turn 4 Georgius or 3 mana Georgius. Oracle? Vagabond Lizard? No Georgius, no Vagabond. Because you want to save the Georgius for burn damage in later turns. I feel like. Oracle? Because like, even though you're a kind of aggressive tempo deck, you can afford to take it a little bit later, up to the 9 mana mark. And this guy is 100% going to be the fucking fish deck. I fucking hate the fish deck. All my homies hate the fucking fish deck. And then we steed and hope for something good next turn. If we don't get something good next turn, we're just going to Draconic Call. No, we're not going to Draconic Call until we get a 7 mana. Man. Why does this happen? And I think we end my turn actually. And then next turn, Call Dragon, rearing on one of the dragons. And you know what, fuck it. We're just gonna ignore any tempo he places onto board unless it's fucking Razia. But I doubt it's gonna be Razia. He's aiming to get to 10 mana by next turn, so I have until maybe turn 8 before he OTKs the shit out of me. That thing doesn't heal at all, so I can probably safely ignore it. Nice tempo and board. Fucking idiot. Idiot. No, the problem is if I don't ramp into something. Okay. I can still deal with this though. This deck is obnoxiously difficult to deal with. I wish I was able to Dragon Rearing that turn. I really do. Not being able to Dragon Rearing there is actually huge. Man. That's not what I wanted. Georgius evolved Georgius. Chrysotic set up for a damage thing next turn, and I set up tempo on board. Slow his progression while advancing my own tempo progression. Because really, I just want to keep throwing bodies at him until he can't deal. I mean, the other option is like Gandoza next turn, but that's too much huge stick energy for him to handle. Actually, no, that does work out, because like Gandoza, evolve Gandoza. Oh, I can't evolve Gandoza if he doesn't give me anything. Ooh, that's annoying. Yeah, I'm still gonna Gandoza anyway. Because then I get the turn 10 Georgius. I am gonna save the evolve point though, just in case. Man. This happens a lot, doesn't it? Alright, so he's got 1 turn to live or 2 turns to live. I have no idea how many turns he has anymore. Alright, got a Dragon Rearing. Yeah, this is really fucking annoying. Because now I'm 2 damage off lethal, 4 damage off lethal, which I will be able to make up for next turn. But I think he has the fucking fish active. Save the fish. Say goodbye. They always have the fucking Karatanai. How the fuck do they have it? You're there to you, Gandayo Nanimo. All my homies hate the fish. And I'll see you in the next video too. Woo!
Ligma, Sagma, Socon, Richard, Seaman, Sperm Whale, Eggplant,
Fuss.